Hey everyone, it seems like everybody has a YouTube channel or is making videos or has a blog or something and I don't. So of course I've got to follow the crowd. No, but I never really thought I had anything worth people following. I'm not very creative, but I have started something new that a lot of people have said they wanted to be updated on. So I figured I'd start documenting my experience with TMS therapy. So I don't remember exactly what it stands for. It's transcranial something therapy. But if you've seen my other posts, you know, or you've seen the video and get an idea of what it is. So how this all came about is I've been on antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication since I was 19, so I don't know, 13 years or something like that. And it just seems like they keep adding more and more. That's my bird. You know, adding one to offset the side effect of another, and then adding on another one. And I think right now at this point, I know I'm on 3 different medications during the day and 2 at night, although one of them is the same as one that's taken during the day. I just take a bigger dose at night and smaller dose in the morning. That's for my anxiety. So, so 3, 4, 5, I don't know, 5, I lost count, but a lot of different medicines. And then I have my general ones. I was diagnosed with high blood pressure when I was 30. Thanks genes for that. And then I've had stomach issues since I was a kid, so I'm on stuff for that. Prep and a daily vitamin, and antihistamines. I'm on like 2 or 3 of those because of allergies. So I think in total I take about probably 11 or 12 pills a day, split between some in the morning, some at night. So I've always wanted to try to reduce the amount of medication that I'm on, especially with the antidepressants, because I know those long-acting can be bad for you. So I was actually doing research trying to find a new psychiatrist because my insurance wouldn't cover the one that I was seeing, and I stumbled across the neuro or the TMS therapy, and you know, at first I was kind of like, oh, it seems a little like ECT, seems a little extreme, seems a little, I don't know. But as I was looking at it and looking at different research and looking at just some of the statistics that the website that I found for my doctor here in Tampa, some of the statistics that were there, you know, I was kind of like, well, if this could work, like, why not try it, right? It's non-invasive, and you know, I guess, you know, I'm taking all these medications that are, you know, God knows what they're doing to my body. So why not try, right? Why wouldn't that work? Why wouldn't I believe that that could work? Right? It's magnetic, it's pulse, it's neuron, you know, there's electricity in our brains, and the magnet is supposed to be stimulating those and whatnot. And so why wouldn't I believe that that worked if I believe that medication that, you know, delivers things to the neurons and serotonin and blocker, what, you know, I don't know exactly what it does, but all I know is it works, right? It helps my depression and it helps my anxiety, and I know that I need it every day, or else things can get bad. So, so I was like, okay, well, usually my first check on things when it comes to medical, my first check on things is if my insurance will pay for it, then it's probably safe. And it's probably, you know, a good idea. And especially if it's something that requires authorization, right? Because I work in the insurance industry. I've been in insurance for a long time. Well, not for a long time, but I've had previous experience in the insurance industry. So I know that things that require authorization means they got to look at it deeper, right? They got to look at your case specifically. They want to see medical records. They want to see failed attempts at, whatever other treatment there is. So it just kind of gets a closer look. So I know that it, is something that, that they wouldn't approve if it was unsafe, right? In general, they're not, or at least I hope from my experience, right? Because they look at things like, does the FDA approve of it, and things like that, and the FDA does approve of it. They actually say it's better than medication. So that was kind of my like putting the feeler out there. So I, called the place and I gave them my insurance information, and they called, and I had to give them like a whole slew of history. And luckily I've had this insurance before in the past. So they were able to see records that, I've been on medication, since I was 19. They can see, that I've had therapy before and things like that. So I didn't have to jump through too many hoops, to like get records from a whole bunch of different places. And they approved it. So I was like, okay, well, probably a good idea then, right? And what can it hurt? So I went. So I've had now, I've had 3 treatments total. I started last week on Wednesday. That appointment was around 9 in the morning. And then, I had appointments Thursday and Friday, after work around like 3:15, 3:30. So the deal is that it's 6 to 7 weeks, and it's every day, Monday to Friday. And it's only like 20 minutes. So it's easy for me. The office is right by work, so I just go after work. And then, because I'm on medication, the plan is to start to wean me off of the medication. So because I'm on so much, we haven't started the weaning off process yet. We're going to start that. I think I see the doctor on Thursday, and then we'll start talking about weaning off of that. And obviously it's he's a board certified psychiatrist as well, but now all he focuses on is the TMS therapy. But a lot of people do come in and they're on medications, or they've been on it, or or whatnot. So he can and will monitor he'll monitor my medication, and he can actually prescribe it and make changes. If I'm on 100 milligrams or something and we're going to take it down to 75, he can make the changes with that. So that's also comforting, knowing that his his history in medicine has been psychiatry, and then he's just kind of tapped into this newfound treatment. So like I said, so I've had the 3 sessions so far, and I want to say that I'm noticing a difference. I'm hesitant to say that it's 100% the therapy, right? So here's a couple of things that I've noticed. So on my first treatment, like I said, it was at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I generally go to work at 6 o'clock in the morning because I'm crazy like that. So I had not really slept very well the night before, and so I was kind of dragging ass. So I went to work. I worked from 6 to 8, and then I left and went to the appointment. And I remember sitting waiting for the appointment, and I was so tired. Like, I was afraid I was going to fall asleep in the waiting room. I was just so tired. So the first one was with the doctor. So he like literally mapped out my brain, like took measurements of my head, and then gave me this nice cap and kind of mapped out on the cap where the machine should go to guide the technicians, because I won't see him at every appointment. And then I didn't realize that I was going to actually like get my first treatment there. For some reason, I thought it was just going to be like the brain mapping session, but then he did the treatment. And it feels weird. I mean, so you're in a nice comfortable chair, and there's like a headrest that holds your head steady on this side, and then there's the big, I think it's called NeuroStar, that he'll come and he puts over here, and then it gives like, it just feels like I don't even want to say like zaps, like it literally just feels like taps. I don't know what to, literally almost kind of like that, a little bit harder, nothing that's unbearable. So as he was mapping, what they actually do is they look for the threshold of how much therapy you can take. And what they use to gauge that is that if the magnet is so strong that it is making you have a physical reflex, then it's too much therapy. and they want to get you like right, I guess the sweet spot is like right below that. So he puts it on, and I was sitting with my hand in the air like this, just relaxed, but in the air, resting on the arm like that. And he would do, you know, whatever level, and then he would keep doing it. And then eventually my hand jerked. And it was kind of freaky because like, I mean, you could feel the thing on your head, and it's just, I don't know, to me, it was just weird that something that was there was making my hand jerk. I don't know. So it kind of freaked me out, but so then he knew like that was my threshold. So then he dialed it down a bit, and did it and watched, and my hand didn't do anything. So he knew like that was going to be like the max of my therapy. So then he started me out at, like, I don't even know how to explain if it's like 100 megawatts or whatever, but like whatever my therapy threshold is, he started me at 35% of that. And he said, so what I'm going to do is, he said, I want it to be, not unbearable, but let me know when it's just slightly annoying. Cause he had like put it on, he's like, that's not too bad, right? And I'm like, no, it just feels like, you know, like I could handle that. And so he kept putting it up. And then I think we got to about 45%, 50% maybe. And I was like, okay, that's annoying. And it was like, it didn't hurt. It was annoying. It was like the kid, like it was like a kid just like poking you repeatedly. Right. And so he left me at that for a little bit, and then, increased it, because then you eventually do get used to it. So it was annoying at first, but then I kind of got used to it after a while. So then they dial it up a little bit, so to get you to the point again where it's just slightly annoying. And then the goal is to, you know, work you up to 100% therapy. So that day, I think I'd only gotten up to about 55%. And I noticed that I was awake. I don't know, maybe you can attribute that to the fact that something was, you know, going like this on my head, and, you know, for 20 minutes, or to the actual therapy. But I noticed when I got back to work that I wasn't drowsy, and I actually wasn't drowsy for the rest of the day. I came home after work, and like I generally always take a nap, because getting up at 6 a.m., well, actually getting up at 4:45 a.m. to get to work at 6, it's exhausting, right? So I came home and kind of forced myself to take a nap, because I wasn't really feeling tired, but I guess I'm so used to it that my body and my brain was like, nope, nap time. So I did that, and I had a weird like jerking reaction, but that was from a different medication. That was from some medication for restless leg syndrome, which I have stopped taking because that was giving me nightmares and sudden body jerking movements, and actually like my memory was getting, like I was forgetting things at work, like just really like ditzy. And so I stopped taking that, and that's resolved itself. But so after the 3, even like this weekend, like I went to church today, and I always go to church Sunday morning, and then I always come home and take a nap. And I came home from church today, and like normal, I came home, you know, I fed the cats, let the bird out for a little bit, and then laid down on the couch to take a nap. And like, I think my brain was just saying, right, like, you always do it, so you need to do it. But I couldn't go to sleep, like I wasn't tired. So I think it's having an effect. But like I said, there's other things that have happened, like some good things that I won't mention, but just some, you know, overall general things that would make someone feel perkier and be in a better mood. But I think even setting that aside, like it's, what, 9:29 right now. I was ready for bed an hour ago. And usually that's a struggle for me, is going to bed. So I feel like it's regulating my sleep, that I'm going to bed at a decent hour. I'll get up at, I'll be in bed in the next half hour, 45 minutes or so. I'll get up at, 4:45, 5 a.m., go to work, hopefully not come home and take a nap. and then be back in bed by 9, 10 o'clock tomorrow night. So so far so good. The only downside to it, and it's not even really a downside, is the headaches. I have a headache for a couple hours after each treatment. Nothing that just over-the-counter Tylenol can't handle. It's expected. I mean, I know there's not like physically something tapping, but it feels like it because the magnetic, waves are, so you can feel it. So I mean, if somebody was, even if I, did this for 20 minutes on my head, I'd probably have a headache. But like I said, they're not unbearable. I've just started right before I go into treatment. I'll pop a couple of ibuprofen. And I actually did that on Friday. And then I think maybe I had a headache for half hour after treatment, but it wasn't even like, because I had taken the medicine, but the level of headache that I had after, like, wasn't even something that I would have said, oh, I'll take medicine. Like, I know the medicine helped prior to, but like the headache that I did have wasn't that bad. So, but again, that's expected. And they actually said that people who are prone to headaches, which I am because of my sinuses and everything, people who are prone to have headaches almost inevitably get them with treatment. But they see that usually after about 7 treatments or so, they like don't even happen anymore. So, I mean, if this is the only side effect, is a headache that I can treat with a ibuprofen that, only lasts for a couple hours and isn't even unbearable, like, I'll take it, right? So, I don't know. So we'll see. I go back tomorrow on Monday. So again, Monday to Friday. It's only about, I think it's like 18 minutes is the actual like setting on the machine. And then Thursday we start weaning off of medication, which means that I need to start, right, like paying attention to what I'm feeling and what my body's telling me, because essentially what should be happening is that, like, let's say I'm here on the medication and now I'm doing this TMS treatment, which is basically like adding another pill. So I should be going up here, right? And then if we taper off the medication, this should come down, but then this should also come down and like get me back to equilibrium. So, so we'll see, right? But doing it under doctor supervision, he actually said that because I'm on so much and like such high doses of stuff, he said that like he didn't want me to get my hopes up, but he's like, I think I can get you off of your medication. He's like, but there's one of them. He's like, I don't think I'll be able to completely get you off of it. I might be able to take you from 100 milligrams to 25 milligrams, but I should be able to eliminate the rest of the medications. And if that's all I can get, I'll take it. Anything I can do to reduce the amount that I'm having to take, I'll take it. But I guess the one antidepressant that I'm on, he's had a really hard time getting people off of it. I guess it's one of the most potent ones, of course, right? Like, of course they gave me that one. So it's not the easiest to get people off of, but he said he should be able to reduce it, if anything. So I'm hopeful of that. I would like to be completely drug-free. Well, not, you know what I mean, pill-free. But, I'll take what I can get at this point. So if you have questions, drop comments. I'll try to address them in the next post. I don't know that I'll post every day because I don't know that there will be much of a big difference every day, but I'll post frequently. And if you have questions, let me know. I'd be happy to answer them. And if you are thinking about it and you want to talk, let me know. I'd be happy to do that as well. But for now, wish me luck, and we'll see what happens in the next 6 to 7 weeks. Thanks for taking the time out, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.